Indian Weavers by Sarojini Naidu. Structure, Summary, Analysis. Hello and welcome to the discourse. Sarojini Naidu was born in Hyderabad in 1879 when it was still part of British India. After receiving her education in both India and England, she grew up to become a crucial voice in the movement for Indian independence. She was also a respected poet and a strong advocate for women's rights. By the time of her death in 1949, she had served as a politician and earned the nickname Nightingale of India because of her beautiful poetry. Her poem Indian Weavers comes from her first full collection, The Golden Threshold, which was published in 1905. The poem shows the weavers creating three different garments, with each one representing a distinct stage of human life. In this way, the poem explores important themes like art, life, and the unavoidable passage of time. The poem starts by describing how the weavers make blue clothes for a newborn child early in the morning. The second stanza explains how they create green and purple marriage wheels later in the evening. The final stanza focuses on the white shroud they weave at night, which is meant to cover a corpse for a funeral. In just 3 stanzas, the poem spans the full cycle of a single day as well as the entire journey of a human life. Structure of Indian Weavers. Sarojini Naidu's poem Indian Weavers is built from 3 stanzas and each one is a quatrain made of 4 lines. The poem uses a simple and steady AABB rhyme scheme. For instance, in the opening stanza, day rhymes with gay and child rhymes with wild. This creates a song-like feeling that is easy to follow. The rhythm is also very regular, written in a meter called Iambic Tetrameter. This means each line usually has 4 beats, with each beat following an unstressed then stressed pattern. Da-dum, 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 da-dum. This steady rhythm mimics the gentle, repeated motion of weavers working at their loom. The poem's tone is thoughtful and solemn, and it changes slightly with each stage of life it describes. It starts with a cheerful mood for the birth of a child, becomes more celebratory for a marriage, and ends in a quiet, respectful sadness for death. The speaker is an observer who questions the weavers about their work. Their answers create the poem's central metaphor, connecting the garments they weave to the major moments of human existence. Through this exchange, the poem reflects on how life, from its beginning to its end, is like a beautiful and inevitable piece of fabric. Summary of Indian Weavers. Stanza 1, lines 1 to 4. Weavers, weaving at break of day, why do you weave a garment so gay? Blue as the wing of a halcyon wild, we weave the robes of a newborn child. In the early morning, the speaker notices weavers creating a brightly colored garment. When she asks why they are making something so cheerful, they explain that the blue cloth is a robe for a newborn baby. This stanza introduces the poem's main metaphor, where weaving stands for the different stages of a human life. The break of a day is a strong symbol for birth, new beginnings, hope, and a fresh start. The question about bright and gay garment sets a tone of curiosity and wonder. The weaver's answer directly links their work to this first happy part of life, and the choice of a newborn child represents pure potential and the very beginning of life's journey. The stanza is full of clear visual imagery. Break of day brings to mind the first light of sunrise. The words garment so gay create a picture of something vibrant and full of color. The most powerful image is the simile, blue as the wing of halcyon wild, which compares the cloth's color to the brilliant blue wing of a wild kingfisher bird. This comparison gives the reader a beautiful and precise picture, and it also symbolizes peace, prosperity, and beauty, all feelings connected to the birth of a child. The question, why do you weave a garment so gay, is not meant to be answered literally. Instead, it makes the reader think more deeply about life's bigger meaning and draws them into the poem's message. Stanza 2, lines 5 to 8. Weavers, weaving at fall of night, why do you weave a garment so bright? Like the plumes of a peacock, purple and green, we weave the marriage wheels of a queen. As evening arrives, the speaker questions the weavers once more, this time about a brilliantly bright garment they are making. The weavers reply that they are creating the marriage wheels for a queen. They compare the cloth's vibrant colors to the stunning feathers of a peacock. This stanza represents the second stage of adulthood in the human life cycle, focusing on the important moment of marriage. Here, the fall of night does not mean an ending. Instead, it shows a transition into a new chapter of life, the prime of adulthood, which is linked to passion, celebration, and energy. The change from the break of day in the first stanza to the fall of night here shows how time is moving forward. The weavers are no longer making a garment for an unknown child but for a queen. This raises the event to a level of royalty, grandeur, and great importance. This life stage is shown as the most colorful, public, and festive part of a person's story. The poet uses a clear simile and vivid imagery to strengthen these ideas. The fall of night suggests the start of a new, mature phase, much like a wedding that often happens in the evening. It hints at the passion and mystery of being an adult. Peacock feathers stand for beauty, nobility, and even immortality in many cultures. Using them here highlights the wedding ritual's importance and splendor. Purple is traditionally a royal color, and green often means vitality, growth, and new beginnings. Both of these colors are tied to marriage. Calling the bride a queen symbolizes that every bride is treated like royalty on her wedding day, making it the highest point of her life. Stanza 3, lines 9 to 12. Weavers, weaving solemn and still, why do you weave a garment so white, like a feather and white as a cloud? We weave a dead man's funeral shroud. In the quiet of the night, the speaker finds the weavers working in a solemn mood, weaving a pure white garment. When asked why, they explain they are making a funeral shroud for a dead man. They compare its color to the whiteness of a feather and a cloud. This final stanza represents the last stage of the human life cycle, death. The time has moved to the full darkness of night, which is a universal symbol for the end of life. The weavers are no longer cheerful but are solemn and still, matching the peace and seriousness of death. The bright colors of birth and marriage are gone, replaced by plain white. This white does not mean emptiness. Instead, it stands for peace, purity, and the soul's freedom from the body. The stanza shows death not as something sad, but as a natural, quiet, and unavoidable end to the life that began at dawn. The poet uses a double simile, comparing the shroud to a feather and a cloud. Both feathers and clouds are soft, light, and peaceful. This suggests that death is not a heavy or scary end, but a gentle and calm transition. It is as quiet as a falling feather and as serene as a floating cloud. The imagery here is very different from the earlier stanzas. Words like white, feather, and cloud create a picture of softness, lightness, and silence. This is a sharp contrast to the bright peacock colors of marriage and the cheerful blue of birth, making the finality of death feel more solemn. The white garment is a symbol of peace, purity, and a spirit moving beyond this world. In many cultures, white is worn for mourning because it represents the soul's innocence and its return to grace. The night now fully means the end of life's journey, the darkness of death and the unknown. The funeral shroud itself is a powerful symbol of our mortality and the end of life on earth. In conclusion, Sarojini Naidu's Indian Weavers is a thoughtful and moving poem about the unavoidable cycle of human life. Using the simple image of weavers at their loom, the poem follows our path from the bright blue of birth at dawn, through the joyful colors of marriage in the evening to the peaceful white of death at night. The poem does not show this journey with fear or sadness, but with a respectful acceptance. It suggests that each stage is a natural and important part of a single, beautiful fabric. In the end, the weavers become a metaphor for fate or life itself, quietly and skillfully making the garments that will dress us all from our first breath to our last. This reminds us of the deep connection between art, life, and death. So this is it for today. We will continue to discuss the history of Indian English literature. Please stay connected with the discourse. Thanks and regards.